good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you're joining us from in the world. And welcome to this, the latest in the series of Can-Up shows. I'm joined tonight by my good friend, colleague, and general good egg, all the way from Australia, Mr. Matthew Dent. How's it going, Matthew?
Good, Jimmy boy. How are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. Looking forward to this show. We've got a lot to cram in. Why don't you tell the guys and gals all about it?
That's a great segue, Jimmy, and I'm going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Ryan Wankel from Heliospectra. We have Nina's news from around the world. We have Haydar from Dryger, and she is dropping an absolute bombshell, the brand new Dryger DGX, hot off the press. Can't wait to tell you folks about that. I'll also be chiming in with a tech tip where we look at hygiene mats, and then we shall hit the beers and skittles as per usual, Jimmy.
All good with the beers and skittles, our kid. All good with the beers and skittles. Now, without further ado, let's crack on to Nina with the news from the Netherlands.
Thanks, Madam Jim, for the nice introduction. Welcome to the news brought to you by MMJ Daily, already episode 4. The cannabis legalization wave is going downward from North America. Mexico's lower house has passed a bill that would legalize cannabis adult use. This came after almost 2 years that the Mexican Supreme Court deemed the ban on recreational cannabis unconstitutional. Now, the bill is expected to smoothly sail through the Senate to eventually end up on President Andrés Manuel López Obrador's desk, who has already showed support for cannabis legalization. This new bill would, on the other hand, allow for adult use and home growing, and on the other hand would also establish a licensing structure for cultivation and sales. The Assembly passed the bill on Tuesday night, and Governor Cuomo already said he will sign a measure. This bill opens up a market that is expected to become one of the biggest in the country, with billions of dollars expected in potential revenue. A new paper published on Nature Sustainability has pointed out the amount of greenhouse gas emission generated by the cannabis industry in the United States. The picture drawn by the author is not flattering, yet they suggested ways to invert such a trend. Taking this paper as a starting point, regulators and growers could better assess ways to be more environmentally friendly. Curaleaf has entered the European market through the acquisition of AMAC Life Sciences for $286 million. Such an acquisition will allow the Canadian company a presence in many promising EU markets, such as UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. For the first time, a credit union in the US was penalized due to its involvement in the cannabis industry. Cannabis is still federally illegal in the US. That is why it might be hard to work with financial institutions for cannabis companies. The credit union CEO said that they were one of the first to serve Michigan's cannabis industry. I'm going to win the war, and not this battle. Somebody has to go through this. I guess it's me, the CEO commented. This was already all the cannabis news around the world. Now I would like to give the stage to Matthew and Jim, and as always, enjoy the show and knowledge from our guests. Bye-bye.
Nina, fantastic as per usual. All the latest news and reviews from around the world of commercial cannabis production. Thank you. Next, we're moving across to Ryan Wankel, the cannabis grower liaison at Heliospectra. Here's over to you, Ryan. Hi, Ryan, and thanks for joining us on the show. It's really good to have you here. It looks a lovely location you're at. Whereabouts in the world are you today?
Well, today I'm located in Tulum, Mexico. So doing a little bit of digital nomading with a little bit of the slower in-market travel currently. So taking advantage of the digital nomad life, but typically located in Denver, Colorado.
All right, okay. It looks a fantastic little spot you're in there.
Yeah, it's not bad. So it's digital nomading, I think, has become more of a common thing here in Mexico with the current pandemic. Of course, the weather is not all too bad, so it's nothing to complain about. And high Wi-Fi speeds are awesome, so nothing to complain about here currently.
Excellent.
Yeah, that Wi-Fi speed seems to be next level there. So why not, mate? Why not? Hey, just touching on North America and the US, what sort of strains are popular there at the moment? I mean, you know, like the rest of the world, we as the rest of the world look to the US now for a lot of the cool gear coming out. So what do you find's hot at the moment?
You know, it's really been about products. As far as what we find is the hottest and trending product is obviously rosin, actually. So a lot of the what strains that are you're finding that are really trending in the market are really catered towards the process of making rosin, in hash and extracting it and then using that within a press. So you're seeing a lot of course, different markets that are catering towards, what's the yield extraction, how does it actually set up, so they're looking for a really greasy type product. Of course, you see a lot of GMO right now. It's still really popular, mainly because of some of those extraction techniques and it working really well with those. Of course, some of the trending breeders that I always still say that are hot. Of course, Canorado has been releasing some really cool, really neat gear. You see a lot of the biscotti and gelatos out there into the world, and of course those are anything with candy in the name right now is kind of the hot trending market. High
Candy
fructose.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Candy Kush is kind of falling off, but it's got to be a cereal or some sort of definitely candy out there onto the market, or fruit that's been really appealing out there into the market. I mean, we even see high fructose corn syrup now as a strain. So it's quite all over the board. But I always say to check out Canorado. Karma Genetics is always releasing some really cool gear. And of course that's across the Netherlands and in the US as well. So checking out them, Archive, Top Dog. Yeah, but people are really catering these strains towards these processes for rosin making.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Was that at the dog, Matt? Did you throw that at the dog then?
That was my cat just meowing there at the cat door. So it was just a nice little throw of the pen there. Hey guys, I'm not actually liking the light in here, so I might actually just chuck on the Helio Spectra Mitra, which I'm demoing at the moment. So we'll see how that looks.
Oh,
Better.
definitely.
Who said
that? That looks great. That looks really good.
Speaking of Helio Spectra, I think that first ebook you guys smashed out was amazing. It sort of hit a lot of points head on, really told a nice story about the different light wavelengths and how they are going to affect the morphology of your plants. Some really nice graphics in there that told some good visual stories. What have you guys been up to, and what's on the horizon for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, 2020 was obviously a different year for everybody, and for us, it was really just about bringing that community of growers closer. Combining a lot of resources, amongst our customers and our customer base out there into the field. Of course, a lot of my knowledge and friend knowledge as well, and really just trying to bring the community closer together. And I think that will still be a continuing, ongoing goal for 2021. Of course, for us, I'm usually traveling most of the time for my job, so usually not sitting in Denver that much. And so for me, I'm ready to go back out. We're really going to get in person with the customers. We're really looking forward to really being hand in hand with our clients once again. So I think from the digital aspect of bringing that community together, we're really going to look to, again, more in-market lunch and learns, and really bringing in when we're all able to, but really getting out there, working closely with our growers once again. That's really important with us, is working with the farmers.
Yeah, we're certainly over here in Europe. We're really itching to get back into the trade shows and face to face in with the customers. It's there's nothing like it. What's the feeling around Colorado with relation to trade shows, etc.?
People are ready to get out. That's everybody is ready. It's been, I'd say, difficult. A lot of people really like that face-to-face interaction. It has been really difficult for for growers to really start to see what's trending out there in the market, what's new and available. And with the trade shows, it's kind of this one type stop shop that you can go and educate yourself, whether it's a new compliant pesticide or fungicide, or the newest lighting technology out there. So growers, they're ready to get out. A lot of that is bringing that community kind of back together, and that's been a very limited aspect. And I think that that's where growers are ready to get out there, and we do start to see MJ BizCon, it's still trending for an in-person show, so we do start to see more shows on the horizon. But of course, as we know, that it's going to be current with pandemic numbers and everything, but growers are ready to get back out to Las Vegas, that's for sure.
Tony suppliers.
Yeah,
Suppliers are gagging too, don't worry.
yeah, and everybody brings their newest strain, and it's kind of the bragging rights, I guess you would say, and that's kind of been lacking.
I think you
Let's
make
get out
a
there
good
and press
point
the
saying
flesh.
the education side as well. People go there and they get more information and they're broadening your knowledge all the time. For us and for growers as well, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. Love the show.
Definitely. And frankly, I think people are just getting over sitting in front of a computer all the time nowadays. So, yeah, it's a very hands-on nature community.
Mhm.
Just quickly, Mexico, what are your thoughts in 1 minute?
In 1 minute, I think like all Latin American countries of course, it just went recreational here. There haven't seen too much traction as far as setting up. I think people are all starting to understand how it's all going to start to fiddle in, and also work in with current problems of cartels and a very strong underground community, which is obviously a real thing to have to deal with, and particularly in different areas. So I think that it's that it's going to take some time, but it'll probably be one of the larger markets out there eventually when it does start to come.
Yeah, man, it's I think cannabis has its roots deeply planted in peace, and hopefully hopefully that continues through Mexico. All we can do is hope.
Definitely, I do see a High Times Mexico Cannabis Cup at some point. I see that within the future.
I see us three there, definitely.
I look forward to it for sure.
Ryan, you've been an amazing guest. Thanks for jumping on the show. Yeah, we look forward to a new ebook coming out from Heliospectra soon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, and yeah, go check out Heliospectra for sure. And cheers till the next time.
Cheers. Brilliant. And just everybody, no animals were harmed in the filming of this video, and only my eyeballs. So I can tell you, the new Mitra really packs a punch.
Glad you like it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Ryan. What a smooth mover. He's just a smooth individual. I cannot wait to get over to a Cannabis Cup with that man. That's all I can tell you, Jimmy. Next up, we have the bombshell that we promised. We have Haydar from DryJare. She's a North American representative, done loads and loads of work in the North American cannabis market with the big boy DG12. Now we're here to look at the DGX, hot off the press, as we said. Let's throw over to Haydar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CanHub show. We've got Haydar with us from DryJare. She's here to talk to us about the brand spanking new DGX unit, which everyone at Royal Brinkman has absolutely been hanging for. Jimmy, what are your thoughts, mate?
Well, fantastic piece of kit, isn't it? It's exactly what we've been waiting for. Smaller glass houses, indoor grows, drying rooms. This unit cracks it all. It's like the Manny Pacquiao of dehumidifying units. It might be small, but it's got some serious firepower. This unit can extract anything up to 16 litres of moisture from the air per hour. Well, that's an astonishing rate for something as compact as a metre by a metre by a metre. It's lightweight, can be moved, and Hano's going to tell us a lot more technical spec on it. How are you, Hano?
I'm good, thank you. So basically, we took all driver benefit and we adjusted it to the indoor requirements, and we made it in a very compact package. And that's the idea behind the DGX. And you can see there all the air circulation, the unique and patent protected air circulation of the driver that creates uniformity all over the growing space. You can see the energy efficiency. So even in an indoor facility, you can save energy compared to other alternatives. You can see it in the design. It's very easy to connect and to control everywhere in the space. I don't know if you know, but we have also a remote control, so you don't have to actually access the unit. You can do it from far away. It complies with the GMP that is very often asked in an indoor facilities. So it's very easy to clean. You can remove the parts, clean them as you want, and then return it back. So we did everything we thought the growers need for indoor and for small greenhouses. And that's the idea behind it.
Certainly one of the features that I really thought was beautifully engineered was the evenness of the airflow. Regardless, because obviously you can change the panels around the top of the unit to direct the airflow where you want it, but it was the evenness that you still retained of that airflow which gives you the evenness throughout the climate of the grow facility, which I thought was excellent. Just that little bit of extra engineering in there really makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yes, so the idea was really that we want to send the growers one package, very easy, and then they can connect it to the electricity. It's really, there's a plug, so they can just put it in the wall. And we understand that there's a lot of limitation inside an indoor facility. It's relatively smaller. So of course, if the growers wants to place the unit next to a wall, they can adjust the hood and still enjoy the optimal air circulation from the unit. And that's what we wanted to offer. So yeah, it's one of the new features.
And also the unit can be mounted from the ceiling or from a wall or wherever the space allows. Obviously it's pounds or euros or dollars per square meter with all growers. So being able to hang it somewhere or put it exactly where you want it to maximize the effect and the airflow. And of course, the remote control, me being 5'5", it doesn't need to be very high up until I can't reach it. But exactly. What kind of airflow can you achieve through the unit?
So we have two types of units. We have the 60 hertz that offer 6,700 cubic meters of air, and the 50 hertz unit that offers 8,000 cubic meters of air. So it's a massive, it's more than twice compared to any alternatives in the market. And it means that air is moving all the time in all the space, and that's very important. And we see the efficiency of taking the air from both sides, not only one side of the unit, but both sides, returning it back in this air movement is very good results in everywhere we see.
Yeah, so
I want to say air donut. I want to talk about the air donut and the way that the air pushes out of the hood and has a cooling effect as it drops and then is drawn back into the unit, creating that uniform air donut. And again, I just love saying air donut, but it really is a cool feature.
It's a nice way that we use the science. It's physics, it's air physics, but we use it to optimize the air movement inside the space. And the idea is that, you know, during the process, the air is becoming a little bit warmer from the operation, but then we throw it above the plants, and the upper part of the plants get the optimal conditions they want. And then once the air meets the plants, it cools, it collects all the humidity from them and all the colder temperatures, it collects it and returns back to the unit. And this way we can have the optimal temperature and humidity all the time. And we see it also, it's very nice to see it in thermal cameras and in and with sensors. We see it it's very nice graphs. If you want to see one.
Well, we're all about sensors and we're all about we're all about knowledge, and we have a saying here on the CanHub show, and it is, if you don't know it, then you can't grow it. So that will be on a t-shirt somewhere along with Air Donut. So look out for CanHub Dry Air,
I buy t-shirts.
T-shirt coming to you, coming soon.
Your very own Air Donut. Nice. But I suppose with the Air Donut, you're eliminating dead spots. A lot of the sort of the indoor guys, you can have terrible issues. You've got your racking in there if you're multi-layer or whatever, and it's eliminating all those little dead spots, them little pockets of humidity that can build up in an area of your crop. You don't see it, and then bang, you've got a real problem. So anything you can do to mitigate the amount of those you're getting, it's got to be fantastic, hasn't it?
Yes, and I mean, that's the importance of massive air volume that we treat all the time, because especially in cannabis, the plants are so dense and we see humid air is being trapped inside the buds. And that's a very big problem for everyone. And even if you get, I don't know, 0% relative humidity, then still in some cases it's very difficult to extract this humid air from the flowers. But once we move the air all the time, the air is changing from all over the space, then we see that we prevent the humidity diseases, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So moving the air is a crucial part of controlling the humidity. It's very important, and not everyone knows that, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, jump on the CanHub website, download the PDF, look at all the specs of the DGX, get in touch with myself, Jim, jump on the CanHub website and get in touch with us there. Reach out to the guys at DryJair. These people are just the experts in greenhouse climate, indoor climate. They really know their stuff. They've been doing this for years, and do yourself a favor and reach out to learn more, because, you know, these guys will really put money in the bank for your facility, and, you know, ROI, quality of product, reduction of tears, all of these things are things that DryJair specialize in.
Yes.
Matthew,
and we're always happy to share from our knowledge. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Matthew will also be supplying a free Air Donut t-shirt for the first 5 units sold through the CanHub show.
Yes, Air Donut technology, hats and t-shirts coming your way, people.
Perfect.
Thank you, Haydar, for joining us. Really appreciate your time.
Really?
And you know, anything you need, if you're ever in Australia or the UK, Jim and I will be more than happy to show you the kangaroos, as we did with your colleague Yanor.
I'm looking forward to this. You know, in the past, just so you know, I told Ziv that once we are starting to work in Australia, I'm headed that way. But
the offers,
we didn't get there yet, not me.
Always here. Always here. Yeah. Thanks, Haydar. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah. Take care. Pleasure.
Bye, have a good day.
Thank you. G'day, Jimmy, here with our CanHub tech tip, which today is going to be on hygiene mats. Here we have the Royal Brinkmann Flexo mat. This is a really cool mat produced by Flexo Solutions. A couple of the features here: all of your ingredient sits down inside the mat, and it only comes out when the mat's depressed, which keeps your active ingredients safe within the mat instead of leaching off into the atmosphere. We've got a filler neck here, which has 2 purposes. One purpose is you can set up a dosing pump, which means every 2 hours or so, the mat is automatically dosed with disinfectant, meaning you're never going to have a situation where your active ingredient's no longer working. Other thing is you can also plug this up and wash it out. So there are two things to look for: ease of refilling and also ease of cleaning. When I put the mat down here, we'll see how good my balance is this time. We can push down on the mat and see that we're getting a nice amount of active ingredient still on your foot and some nice coverage there. What I'm going to do here is use a test strip, and we're going to test the active ingredient within the mat, and this will give us a good idea of how the ingredient in the mat is working at this stage. And you can see on this occasion that we are in the zone between 3 and 4.5, so our mat is working and we are 100% guaranteed that we're killing all of our pathogens. So just to reiterate, we want to make sure we've got a mat that keeps our ingredients safe. We want to make sure it's not filling up with dirt and grime, easy to clean with the filler neck, and easy to fill with automatic dosing with the assistance of a pump. Thanks, Jimmy. Back over to you.
Matt, fantastic tech tip there. Matt, the cat on the mat, telling you how to look after your flexor mats. Testing strips, making sure that solution's working in there, so you're not using the mat as a breeding ground for you and your visitors to spread problems on their feet across your facility. It's great. You've got to have the right protocols in place. But fantastic piece there, Matt. Thank you very much.
No worries, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for this show. Remember, jump onto www.can-hub. For any extra information, please reach out to the team. Again, thanks to MMJ Daily for sponsoring the news, brought to you by Nina, absolute superstar. If you see us in the street, give us a high five. Love your work. See you next time.
Take care.